Chapter 1. Gathering Raw Materials. Clang, clang, clang. Tss. It's warm. Thud. Raw. Cling, 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 cling. My fingers twitch. I smell firewood burning. I blink open my eyes only for an instant. The light is blinding. I immediately close them again and wait to adjust. I'll try once more. Brow furrowed, I peek through a small opening. I bat my eyelashes a few times and roll my eyes around, scanning the area. It appears I'm in some kind of stone cottage. There's a crackling fireplace straight ahead, a table or a bench with items I can't quite make out atop it to my right, and a plethora of steel and iron weapons hanging on an equipment rack to the left. Where am I? Clang, clang, clang. Tss. Aha! Someone behind me is making an awful lot of noise. The voice isn't familiar at all. This man sounds like a bear, deep and raspy grunts at a lower tone than any person I've ever met. Is it a man? I try tilting my chin upwards to get a glance. I gasp out in pain. There's a creak, and then footsteps that shake the entire building come stomping towards me. The bed I'm lying on rattles with every crash. I roll my eyes to the right and take short breaths through my nose. A burly man, wider than a tree, steps to the table on my right with his back turned to me. I can't tell what he's moving around, but it's scratching the wooden tabletop as he slides stuff back and forth. What's he planning on doing with me? He takes a step backwards and starts turning my direction. I quickly close my eyes. My heart is racing. With every stride he takes, my body flinches in fear. I'm trembling out of control. Sweat rolls down the bridge of my nose. My breaths get heavier and heavier. Easy, lad. His calloused fingertips gently rest on my arm, and I feel an overwhelming sense of relief come across me. His energy is so soft and calming, it feels like a light breeze flowing over my whole body. I burst out into tears. Please, don't kill me, I cry out. I open my eyes. This massive man is looking down at me with a big bushy beard, a tangled nest of dark brown hair down past his broad shoulders, and a gleam in his eyes that says, "You're safe." He stares at me for a moment, purses his lips to one side, then bends down and pulls up a stool. He plops himself onto it, and I bounce off of the bed about a hand high and slam back down. Ho, sorry about that, lad. He wraps both his arms around his giant gut. Guess I don't know me own size, eh? He smiles cheek to cheek and lets out a belt of laughter, louder than a tree falling. It pierces my skull so sharply my brain starts pounding through my eyeballs. I grimace with every pulse. Ho! He whispers in a normal voice. Guess I don't know me own volume either. He chuckles under his breath and reaches down to pick up a clay cup of water. He slips his other hand under my neck and steadily tilts my head up, then puts the water to my lips. I slowly sip at it until the cup is empty. He rests my head against the wool cushion again and sets the cup on the floorboards. Next, he places a bowl of water in his lap, then dips a rag into it and wrings it out. He lays the cool cloth along my forehead and then carries the cup and bowl back to the table to the right of us. "That was some fall you took off the mountain, lad." He comes back to his stool. Plop. "Oh, sorry about that again, lad. Not sure if I'm helping you or doing damage myself. Ho ho!" Again, he chuckles to himself. "I'm good and comfy now." "You," I inhale deeply, "were there?" I raise my eyebrows at him in shock. "Ho ho! Well, how else do you think you got here, laddie? I hauled you myself. I own a hunting shack up near the ridge you fell off of. Just so happened I was out on the lookout for some wolves that have been tormenting the local shepherd's herd. But just as I'm drawing me bow, I hear thunder crash down from the peak. Yet no rain? Absurd! Ho ho!" He chuckles. As if that wasn't surprising enough. Next thing I know, piles of snow come pouring down from the sky with a lad not even half me size caught in the middle of it. I ran over, dug you out of the mound, and brought you to me home to tend to your wounds. He stares intently at me, like he's waiting for me to say something. "Ah, course." He looks around the room sporadically, then laughs loudly. "Where are me manners? I must have put 'em somewhere. Ho ho! Me name's Voris, the village blacksmith." I look down at my feet. I'm not wearing my boots anymore, and draped across me is an elk pelt in great condition. The bed I'm lying on could fit 10 of me in it. It must be his. I look back at Voris. He's such an unusual man. He lowers his brow. "So?" Voris questions. My stomach growls and feels like it's eating itself. "Ho ho, you must be starved." He reaches down and picks up a plate with chunks of cooked fish, potatoes, and a slice of bread on it, and sets it on my lap. "You like fish, lad?" I've never had fish before, or potatoes. All we ever ate at the mine was stew, and sometimes Silas would sneak me a hunk of bread. Even so, I'm hungry enough that I would eat just about anything right now. "Are you sure?" I ask cautiously. "Ho ho, you've been sleeping like a lamb for 2 suns. When I want you dying after I carried you all that way. Eat up, lad, eat up." Forrest insists. 2 suns. I can't believe it's been that long. It seems like just a moment ago I was being buried alive on that mountainside. And now, I'm being served a full meal in a warm cottage. Did I die during the fall and ascend to the heavens? Or is this Voris man just trying to plump me up so that I'd be a decent meal for him? Is your arm able to move, lad? I try making a fist. It's weak, but it doesn't hurt. Next to my elbow. I bend it slowly, left and right. It's not so bad. Finally, I rotate my shoulder around. There's a pinch in my back, but I should manage. I nod to Voris and pull my arm out from beneath the pelt. Pick the fish up with my fingers and place it in my mouth. A waterfall runs across my tongue and down my throat. There's so much flavor. "Ha ha, you look like you never tasted nothing before, lad." Voris shows all of his teeth. "You're making me blush over here." Voris laughs loudly and stands up tall. "Enjoy your food, lad. I got myself a special sword to finish up." He stomps away, and his ruckus begins again behind me. I continue savoring every bite until not even a crumb remains. I don't even care if he wants to eat me anymore. That was delicious. This is all so confusing, though. I don't understand his random generosity. Ring-a-ding. A door opens and a draft rolls in. I hear swift footsteps on stone. Then the door clicks shut after. "Voris," a confident and radiant voice calls out. "I've returned for my sword. But more importantly, what of the boy?" "Ho ho, Ares! You're right on time. And the lad just woke up a wee bit ago. Don't spook him now. He barely said a word." Nearly silent clicks make their way to my side. "You're one to talk, my giant friend. The boy might have assumed you couldn't wait to cook him up for a snack." Ares laughs heartily. "Ho ho! I mean..." Ares kneels down on one leg and rests his hands on his kneecap. He has feathered, dirty blonde hair and a prominent brow. His posture is perfect, even in his crouching position, and his eye contact is so direct it's forcing me to stare back. "My name is Ares. I'm the leader of the chivalrous knights." He motions to the lion etching on his chest plate. "Whether you have heard our tales or not, you may rest easy in knowing that we fight to defend honor, freedom, and decency. Our hope is to bring about the pinnacle of peace to this harsh world in the times we are in." He stands erect, and his aura gleams brightly. "With that said, my lifelong friend and brother in arms, Voris," he points across the room, "is going to care for you. You are in good hands, rest assured. His exterior may be rugged, but he has a heart of gold and a caring soul within. I hope to see a full recovery and a happy ending to your twisted tale. Take care." Ares holds his clenched fist over his heart, then walks out of my view. "As always, Voris, magnificent work. There may never be another blacksmith quite as fine as you again," Ares claims. "Ho ho, you flatter me, laddie." Laughter louder than life itself. "Stay safe out there, you hear." Ring-a-ding. The door clicks shut, and I hear Voris moving things around. I look straight ahead into the swaying flames of the fireplace and watch as they dance back and forth. Maybe this is all a dream, and I haven't woken up yet. I'm having a hard time believing this is real. "You know," Voris breaks the silence, "I wish I could sleep for 2 suns. Ha ho! I'm spent." He comes back to my side. "You need anything, lad?" I shake my head. "Try and get some rest then. I can talk your ear off more in the morn. Ha ho!" Forrest grins and then crashes his way across the room. I hear him groan, and then an earthquake shakes the building. My stomach feels like it's bursting. I don't think I've ever eaten that much before. It's making me tired. I close my eyes and listen to the crackle and pop of the wood burning away. I drift to sleep. I'm hauling a load of ores through the mine shaft to finish the day's work. I'm nearly to the entrance when I hear a scream bounce all around the carved stone. I stop. Is someone in trouble? I drop my cart and rush back into the maze of tunnels. Another scream. This time it was followed by a smack. I turn right. I'm closing in. Hard left. Another scream. I freeze. Krokov stands bloody over a beaten kid. The walls are spattered red. His sword lays next to the boy, coughing up blood. He bends down to grab it. Krokov mumbles something, then raises his weapon. I charge over without any thought. I've never seen this boy before, but I can't watch this happen. I reach out my left arm and yell as he's slicing down his blade. My eyelids burst open. I'm dripping in sweat, and my heart is pounding. I look around. Same stone cottage, equipment rack, fireplace, table. Still. Peaceful. I hear heavy breathing. Voris must be asleep. I try turning my neck. There's less pain than before. Maybe I'm able to stand now. I sit myself up slowly, then uncover myself from the pelt. My thickest layer of clothes have been removed. All that remains is my ripped-up shirt and torn trousers. What did he do with my things? I swing my legs over the edge of the bed. It's cold as my toes touch the floorboards. I'm surprised and lift them quickly. After a moment, I place my bare feet fully on the ground. As I start to stand up, my heels bump something. I look down. All of my other garments are cleaned and neatly folded in a pile along with my hide boots. Did Forrest do this? I reach down and grab my belongings, then proceed to get dressed. I rise to my feet. I can finally see the rest of the cottage. It's fairly large. The area I was able to see from the bed sits on a platform of smooth wood. Almost immediately after the table, there's a drop down to stone flooring. The stone area has all sorts of tools, benches, hammers, and sprawled out in the middle of the room is Voris snoring loudly. It looks like he laid out a few pelts on the hard rock floor and is using them to cushion where he lays. Why? Why would he give up his real bed? For me? I creep past him. This must be the door Ares came through. It's barred shut. If I want to leave, I'll need to move the bar silently. Forrest rumbles hammers on stone with his snoring. I grab the bottom of the plank and lift it upwards. It rattles briefly, then pops out of the holding. Place it gently against the wall. As I'm about to open the door, I look back at Voris sleeping uncomfortably for my sake. I will never forget this strange and kind man. Ring-a-ding. The bell. How could I forget? Maybe he slept through it? You got somewhere to be, lad. Voris grumbles from behind. I freeze in place. This man owes me nothing, and yet he offers me so much. He seems to have a good life, and after what Silas said to me, I can't help but feeling like I'll only bring Voris trouble. No matter the effort, no matter the people extending their hands offering help, and no matter how many times they get up, they will always fall back down again and again, dragging everyone with them into their pit of failure. What if he was right? No, I whisper. I had a feeling you don't got much to go back to. Forrest rolls over and sits up. Unless you stashed your other arm somewhere, that is. I reach my right hand across my body and grab hold of the nub where my other arm once was. Where'd you leave it? Forrest asks as softly as he can. I clench my jaw tightly and take a few deep breaths. The mines. Forrest cheers. It's like the gods hand delivered me a new apprentice, with a knowledge of oars nonetheless. Wait, what did he just say? Apprentice? Imagine it, lad. You once picked the oar from the ground to wind up being saved by a blacksmith. Ho ho! Well, that's fate if I ever heard it, he announces. But my arm. What of it, lad? I'm useless. There's a few moments of silence. Graw, useless? Never heard of such a word. Vorse chuckles. Listen, lad. You're like a stone. In fact, everyone is. If you hit 'em, they crack, sure. A chip or two here and there. But if you take your time, and you know what you're doing, you can reshape even the most mangled stones into the finest of sorts. I clicked the door closed. Ho ho, so what do you say, lad? He stops mid-sentence. Have I got a name, lad? I turn to look at Vorse resting on the floor and shake my head. Well, that just won't do. He looks to the ceiling. How about we call ya? Forrest launches to his feet in excitement and declares, Smith.